Sometimes you have to leave by yourself. It was a Friday night, she knew I came for her by myself. And even though I tried to overlook my spies and try,
I'm involved with this project because I'm one of the team members of the team of Anja Stofberg. I visited the different locations, Madrid, Denmark, Copenhagen and Milano. And what was very inspiring for me was crossing the border with the global idea of volunteering, that I was very much inspired by the local projects, and they give me a lot of inspiration.
I work at a volunteer organization and I support organizations. I participate in the Invest project, and what I have learned is tools to use at my work to support volunteers and also organizations.
I've been volunteering for 3 years as a counselor, and what I learned from the project today was the importance of talking about positive things and trying to implement them in everyday life, in volunteering work. I realized how much different it is to talk for positive things rather than negative things. They can be very encouraging and empowering for people. And I thought of my job as a therapist, that it would help people to hear about their good qualities, and they would give them motivation to do better things.
I have been volunteering for many years in different organizations around the world and different projects. And in the Invest project that we're on today, I have learnt that there's many different ways that people understand volunteering around the world, and that people implement volunteering as well very differently, and that there are different ways that people can take volunteering as an experience to learn about themselves and use the skills that they develop in employment and in their lives.
I was involved in the Invest project with Anja, and I learned there the most of the experiences of other countries. I see differences and I see similarities. I learned from the visit we brought to organizations in the different countries. I learned much about the Cibervolunteers because that was new and we can use it here in the Netherlands.
I think the thing that I've learned most from this project is just the vast range of ways in which people can learn through the volunteering, and the different ways in which we can look for ways to show that through the different workshops, through the different people we've met, through the different partners from the different countries. There's a great difference in the way in which we can look at volunteering and learn the skills and competences that we get from our volunteering experience.
I've been involved in the Invest project, and I've learned a lot of things. I've met a lot of nice people, but I also learned of different ways of that different countries have different way of learning in the volunteering sector, and they're using it different. There's a lot of culture different, but there's also a lot of things in common, and I think we can all learn from each other.
We learned a lot of things during this project. First of all, how it's important to exchange opinion and ideas and point of view with partners coming from other places in Europe, other countries. And today I discovered something really, really important for me, which is related to the main subject of the project. And it's in Italy we are all the time focused on training people, and we feel that it's very important to teach things to people. So it's a top-down approach. And here I discovered that in many countries in Europe this is an old approach, an old style approach, because they work with volunteers to empower volunteers, and so they coach volunteering in reflecting about what they learn during their volunteering.
Not a so big organization, but we are really keen on the importance of volunteering, because in our organization there are a lot of programs, projects and activities. They are run mainly by volunteers, and so we think it's really important to share knowledge and experiences in Europe between different organizations or foundations like us. Invest was a nice program because we got the chance to know something new, some new approaches to volunteering, which are the approaches from other countries where the situation is quite different from Italy, for example. And so I think it was definitely a positive
What I've
experience.
learned till now from the Invest project is that there are so much similarities between the countries, and that we can learn from each other how to deal with problems of working with volunteers. And what I hope, because the intention is to make a booklet, to make a portfolio, that I can try to get the opportunity to really work with it with my volunteers. My organization is quite small, so I hope I will get some hours to do that, but I hope that can really work and to that the volunteers can try to work with the skills they already have, and that they maybe can go further to do some paid
I think
job.
What I have learned from this project is that we have very different volunteer cultures and very different views of volunteers, and also different views and learning views of learning and learning cultures. But nevertheless, we have tried to gather and give some kind of common picture of different tools we use.
I'm the project leader of the Invest project, and it's amazing to see how much impact it has had so far. I was amazed by the number of people seeing new ideas, getting suggestions for how to do things, and the idea of the project is investing in the learning of your volunteers. But what I notice especially is when you really start talking to people and when you're really visiting the locations, you get a so much better idea about the volunteering context in other countries. And just now coming from a meeting, I'm noticing it's so interesting to talk at a European level about one and the same issue and to see all these different views on volunteering and getting that together in a digital booklet. That is our expectation that we'll finish, but it's not an easy task. We're working hard on that, and I'm sure it will be.
Invest project, I learned all the experiences shared by the other partners, Holland, Italy, Denmark, and England. And I am particularly proud of this project because we work with volunteers each day in our organization, and this partnership is with universities and organizations that work with volunteers. And as we work with volunteers today, we realize that they gain experiences and gain skills and competencies each day doing their volunteer, even they don't realize it. And we think it's very important to highlight and recognize from the local and national and European levels this volunteering and the skills acquired through volunteering. And we think it's very important, this project, as a first step of something more big. Thank you so much.